Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
G'day everyone, welcome to episode 10 of the GiddyUp podcast for season 2, the final one of the year. Now I'm very excited. I always introduce my favourite guest, 3-time Paralympian, 4 World Championships, 1 Commonwealth Games, 2-time book author and dad of 4. But of course we don't refer to him as Don Elgin anymore. He is...
as the Love Machine.
The Love Machine. Welcome, Love Machine, Donnie Elgin.
Oh, mate, it's good to be back in the house. I'll tell you, JT, if only the good humans that were listening to this could see the mad bloody scramble that we have right before now. And the shit hitting the fan and bloody dropping out and you doing this one, and I can't hear a word you say, mate. But I tell you what, somehow we are here now. And we are.
I don't know, mate. I don't know how we pull it off every week, but there is no. It wouldn't be our show if we didn't have tech issues to get started every week. One day we should just have a camera running and film, as you said, our scramble of getting this to air. But we are here, and we're very excited because it is going to be the last show for 2020. It's not the last show forever. Don't worry, we will be back next year, of course. But we're going to wrap things up pretty early this year. So, geez, we've got a big show, haven't we, Donnie?
Oh, mate, huge show. I tell you what I like the most about a big show, JT, is we still don't jib the punters. We've got prizes galore, JT. We've got the Tom M vouchers, the tradie vouchers. And I don't know if you can see over my shoulder, JT, but Tom M, it just goes from strength to strength when it comes to this time
Let's have a
of
look.
year.
There we go. Look at that.
As if you don't... Actually, I might have a little spray of the old tradie spray.
Uh-oh,
while we're
here we go.
We'll see if we can get a bit of that body licking going on that happens when... from top... Oh, gee, I don't need the other arm. That's good. Real good stuff.
Oh, geez,
but I tell you what, mate.
It's a rough start.
No, I'll be right. I'll absolutely be right. And we've got, I'll tell you what, it's not, isn't it nice to look around and see some of our favourites from all over the globe just tuning in. It's a wonderful thing. JT, have you pushed record?
Mate, I just hit record. I missed the actual intro music, but we are recording now, so we're all good. God, you know, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't stuff that up as well. So we're good. Now, we've got actually, given that it's the last show, and we obviously want to have a bit of a chat about a few things, but that said, we've actually got lots of awesome stories, and we're going to get straight into our segments, I reckon. What do you reckon, Don? We just go in, or do you want to just...
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, all right.
Weird, wonderful, and wacky.
Boom. Oh, yeah, love a bit of
JT,
weird, wacky stuff. What do you got? Yeah.
Hold that thought. I forgot to bloody tell people what the code word is.
Oh, well, no, we're going to tell them now. It's all good. So we're going to... G'day, Brioni's just joined us as well. Welcome from South Australia. We love our South Australians, even though they ditched us.
What time is it over there?
Half an hour behind us, mate, in about 20 years.
So how are they getting us now? They will get this in half an hour, won't they?
Yeah, that's right. It's a time warp.
Too much for me, mate.
Mate, who knows how these things work. Now, of course, we do have a code word. And before we go into weird, wacky and wonderful stuff, what is the code word tonight, Don? Because we've got a $150 tradie.com voucher to give away.
Well, JT, all the lovely listeners have to, and I'll tell you what, I put a little thing on my post and I said, for all the good listeners, like the nice people, well, mostly because all the naughty people I mentioned would already be here. And surprisingly enough, half of them have already rocked up in the comments. So it is wonderful. It is wonderful. JT, the code word for tonight is
Yep, what have we got?
rainbow.
Rainbow. Oh, that's nice.
It's a lovely one to finish on. So when you hear you or myself say rainbow, or maybe both, if you hear that, what do they got to do, JT? They just put a little comment in there in the comments.
All they got to do is type rainbow into the comments, and then we'll throw everyone into the big wheel, and whoever's name spins up, $150 tradie.com voucher, all yours.
Doesn't get any easier than that, JT. That's the way to do it. And best commenter of the night, of course, that's anyone who's contributing and got something to say, good, bad, or otherwise. Actually, no. If it's not bloody good, you're not getting a comment. You're not half a chance. However, we're open, and Jude's is in Queen. Oh, Jude's, this has stuffed me right up. So we've got Brioni's half an hour later, and Jude's is 7:40. That's an hour behind. So we're right in the happy centre, JT. In the middle we are, mate. But anyway,
my head's spinning.
Great to have people here, and not yet. Do not put the code word in yet. We'll say it later on.
She's peaked early. She's gone early, Brandy. Just settle down. All right, so we're going to get straight into our first episode. Our first section. And, well, I wanted to, when you picture the big Wild West, Donny, out in the States, I'm thinking desert, Sahara, that sort of stuff. I know it's
yeah.
not in the States, but what do you picture immediately? What's that?
Oh, it's the Westerns, mate. The big tumbleweeds rolling down the...
Yeah.
And, yep.
It's exactly right. And we happen to get some footage of some tumbleweeds in case our viewers are saying, what the hell do you mean by a tumbleweed? So I'm just going to play this now. And there you go. There's some tumbleweed, and you can see that it looks pretty amazing.
I thought it was bloody dust. Oh, yeah, it just looks like a big roll, a big... that's tumbleweed. I was thinking like a big bloody daisy thing. That's a lot more heavy.
Something a bit weird about that tumbleweed, mate.
It's pink. I don't know what's weird about tumbleweed out the bush. It's nothing weird.
That footage was from Melbourne.
Nah, turn it up.
Yeah, no, mate. We had some heavy winds, and we just got some tumbleweed just happening through Melbourne, Hillside, down at Hillside in Melbourne.
Where the bloody hell that come from? Someone just got it out the back of Hillside. Where's Hillside?
Mate, I have absolutely no idea, but it is northwest. It's northwest Melbourne. I don't think I've actually ever been there.
You've never crossed the bloody Yarra, JT, you snob.
Mate, the Volvo gets a bit shaky when it goes over the other side of the city. It's what can I say? So anyway, that was northwest Melbourne. You wouldn't believe it if you actually didn't see it, but because we had the video, you have to believe it. But if you just listen to the podcast, you probably still don't believe us. That's why you got to tune in and watch us on Facebook. Just saying.
That's a good point, JT.
No,
and a big shout out to Charlene too from hello from Albury. Geez, we've got people all over the shop, JT.
Geez, we love it. Oh, I missed Charlene. There we go. G'day, Charlene. Thanks for joining us. We do have a very wide audience, and we absolutely love it. Now, Donnie, I want to show you that the world is always exploring new techniques and new ways of building things.
Yeah, sometimes it's a waste of time, isn't it? Sure, we need new everything. What have you found new, JT? You are the new finding guru. What have you found?
Well, bricks, been around forever, right?
Yeah, mud bricks and clay bricks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well,
glass bricks.
There's a new style of brick in town, Donnie. Cast your eyes over this one. Cast your eyes over that.
What is it, bread?
No.
What is that?
Mate, they are mushroom bricks, Donnie.
Jesus, JT, you come up with some weird shit.
Stronger than actual bricks is the rumour.
Yeah, I tell you what. You imagine the bloke who has a mushroom brick house, and the neighbour doesn't mind a bit of happy weed. He just sets fire to that house. Is it like magic mushroom, JT, or what are they? Imagine that thing catching fire.
Well, Donnie, you know how we normally go into a huge amount of research to bring everything to our audience. So what I did for this article this week is I literally took the photo, grabbed the link, and didn't even read it because I knew you'd be all over it, Donnie.
JT, what I know about these mushroom bricks is that, well, it's not quite compost yet. That's why they've got them. They're good. We've shown people there's new bricks.
You haven't read it either, have you?
I haven't read it. Hey, but JT, stop. I can tell you something.
Oh, here we go.
I can tell you, JT.
What do you got?
Where'd you say? Hillside.
Hillside?
The church. It's out near Caroline Springs, out near Sunshine.
Oh, it is. Thanks, Miranda, for giving us the heads up there because we clearly had absolutely no clue whatsoever. Now,
and
of course,
your mum jumped in on that too. Righto, what else you got, JT?
Mate, it's the time of year when we all go, you know what? Geez, it'd be nice to have a truckload of cash, wouldn't it? You want to go Christmas shopping, buy all the people you love some beautiful presents and look after them. So now, short of actually going and getting about 300 jobs and working your ass off, the short way, of course, is to buy a lotto ticket.
Everyone dreams of winning lotto, JT.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Have you done it? Is that why this is the last show?
Well, I just want to announce publicly, Don, that I am absolutely the recipient of $0 from Lotto, despite giving it a crack. But no, I wanted to share a story of this guy here because, hey, look at this bloke here. He's Kwame Cross, just picked up a cool 800,000. Not bad.
You wouldn't be too cross with that.
No, you'd be pretty happy with that. But what's weird about that, Donnie, is, and again, I'm sure you've read the story diligently, just like I have. Let's see how we can wing this. He actually bought the same ticket 160 times, and he actually won. But he bought the same ticket 160 times.
How do you do that, JT? Like, I always think to myself, just get it right once. Like, 160. Like, he's just put it through and he's ticked 160 on the lotto. That's probably what he's done. Like, an innocent mistake. But I wonder what it's cost him, JT.
Well, what do you mean what's it cost him?
Well, it wouldn't be cheap to roll out 160. Surely it's 160 tickets, even at $1 a ticket. That's a fair investment into Lotto, JT.
Mate, he's very committed to his Lotto, Don, and he's pulled it off. I think we should be happy for Kwame. Good on him.
Well, he's not cross, and his name's Kwame, and he's hiding under that mask and his beret. So bloody good luck to him, mate.
There we go. There we go. Just one more look. There we go. Look at that. You got to be happy with that. Hey?
He looks like what's that bloody actor?
I'm moving on. And our next story. Now, Don, we I love talking about pets, of course, on the show. And,
you are a pet lover. So's Nance a pet lover. There's a few pet lovers on here, JT.
We do love pet lovers, of course. Kim's just joined us, a massive pet lover as well. G'day, Kim.
Hello, Kim.
So, now the interesting story about this is, when you lose a pet, it can be quite traumatic. And I don't mean lose as in die, but sometimes dogs, cats, they like to go walkabout.
Oh, yeah, our dog goes wandering I'd get a bit worried when she gets to the end of the driveway because it's a bit deaf, so I'll call her back. And the cat, well, she thinks she owns the bloody whole... She thinks she's the Lord Mayor of Dingley, so I don't even bother with her. But if she went wanders, probably, I reckon, a couple of hours and she'd come back for food.
Well, that's what you'd like to think. But we had a lady. This is over in the UK. Now we've already brought a couple of stories of pets that have gone missing and come back. Well, there's another one. This beautiful little pussy cat here. Let's have a look at this little cat here. A cutie little one. You like that cat?
Yeah, it's all right. A little bit of whopper about it.
Well, little Laddo. Now Laddo went missing back in November. Which
November?
Yeah, November. Which you think? Oh, well, the good news is he's been.
Couple of weeks.
Well, November 2019 was the bit that I didn't mention, Donnie. It was last year, November, that cat went missing and they've just reunited him with his owner. They just found him, someone microchipped him and happy days, but he's been walkabout for just over 12 months.
Oh, wouldn't you like that little bloody camera we say should be on us, JT? Wouldn't you like a microchip to have a camera? So if the cat goes wandering for a year, you can see... if it's been doing a bit of tomming and just sort of sitting around the corner from home watching, or if in actual fact it's might have been catnap, JT.
Might have been catnap. Have a look at him. He looks a bit tired. That's probably my theory is that's why he's tired. He's been bloody running muck for 12 months.
Yeah, giddy up. Good cat. That's what we like.
Now, speaking of lost things, Don, have you ever, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners can probably relate to this moment of horror when you're out shopping or you're out doing your stuff, you go, oh, time to pay. And obviously these days we can just tap our phone. But back in the good old days, you'd pull out your wallet and you go, uh-oh, no wallet.
Oh,
have you ever lost your wallet?
Yeah, it is the shittest feeling, JT. And then so many things run through your head. Like, do I have to cancel the cards? The whole... everything, how much cash was in it, and straight away you've got 1.2 million in there when you have to report to insurance. Yeah. But anyway, yes, I have. It's a terrible feeling, and fortunately, I've only ever done it the once, JT, and I never got it back. Did you lose yours? What happened?
No, actually, I've lost it plenty of times, but I always find it. That's just because I'm, early stages dementia, and I've got no idea what I'm doing. But I normally show it up. In fact, a funny story. Well, not actually funny. The Apple iPod, the earpods or AirPods, whatever you call them. These things you stick in your ears. Well, I had some of those and I lost them, and I thought this is not good. It's a bit shit because I use them all the time. And I thought, oh bloody hell, I'm gonna have to just suck it up and go and buy another pair. So I thought, I may as well buy the Pro, upgrade now because I've got noise cancelling, all that sort of stuff. And I put them in. I was all happy days. And about 2 days later, I was sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh, what's that? Just pressing into my bum. Yeah, found the old the other AirPods just sideways down in the couch.
Now you got one for your butt and one for your head, JT.
Well, that's exactly right. Now I've got two. So, g'day, Carmel. Welcome to the show. Love to have you on all the way from on YouTube. So, thank you for joining us on YouTube.
Happy days on YouTube, JT. What you should have done, mate, is just bought. Look at these bad boys, the i12.
Ching ching, see? Beautiful. Yeah, I love the way you do that. We might be giving away a pair of those tonight on the show. You just never know.
Let's do it, JT. This pair here, I'm going to give these out to,
here we go.
I don't know, someone. And JT, I was about to say something that was a bit too crude for this show. So you have to pick what I'm going to give these out, JT.
Oh, okay. I will pick a comment at some point. I will whack one out. Now, back to the lost wallet. Now, of course, I found my AirPods down the side of the couch. Now, it turns out that a guy lost his wallet, I shit you not, in 1966.
Huh?
54 years ago, and he just got reunited with his lost wallet. I think it's fair to say by 54 years later, you probably thought it's gone for good, right?
JT, it was not down the back of the couch with your earpods, was it?
It was down the side of a couch, not my couch. But there was a guy that actually bought this old couch, and he just found this old wallet literally in this couch, and he's pulled it out, found some documents in the wallet, and actually managed to track down the guy that owned it 54 years later.
Mate, imagine if you were that bloke and someone knocks on your door and says, "Oh, I've got your wallet," and you feel your ass cheek and go, "No, mate, I've got it here. I'm calling the cops if you don't leave. What are you on about?" No, I've got it. It was from 54 years ago, mate.
No. So the guy was, this is a quote. He goes, it's quite a thrill, even though everything is outdated. Yep,
Well,
sounded ecstatic to me.
What about JT? Did he have any cash in it? Because that cash, surely, you know how cash gets more valuable later on. Like your cards and shit, you've replaced all that and your license. But the cash,
Well, it
mate,
actually
that
goes
could be worth.
It doesn't go the other way with inflation. So $1 back in 1954, if it's still $1 bill, then that's actually worth
Yeah, but
less.
that's the whole point, JT. When was the last time you saw a $1 note?
Oh, well, that's also true. Correct.
So you're probably sitting on shit that's now not in circulation anymore, so it's going to be worth more.
Yeah, true. All right, well, I'm going to go shove some shit down a couch, and hopefully it'll be worth a fortune later on. Who's with me? Come on, hands up.
There's a quote for the ads for the next week's podcast. I'm going to shove some shit down a couch.
Top quality you get here on the GiddyUp podcast, I can assure you. Now, of course, Donnie, we a lot of guys and some girls love going fishing, and of course you love holding up your prize catch. Now, you know, Donnie, I'm a bit of an animal lover. Not a big fan of Here's What I Just Murdered, but I know that it's a very important part for people that they want to just go and show off their little catch. Well, it doesn't have to eat fish, but we'll save this debate for another day, Donnie.
This is going to be... Oh, JT, I tell you, I'm coming around to your joint at Christmas to smell a leaf or something.
But I want to... here's a catch, and this is a true story. Here's a big catch that just came up. Have a look at this one, Donnie.
A big cod? Huh? That's a bloody goldfish, JT.
It's a goldfish. It was over in South Carolina. It's a 9-pound goldfish that they caught.
Whoa. What do you reckon that one would go for in the open market?
Bloody big one, wasn't it? Probably nothing.
I paid a fortune for my goldfish only about this big, mate. So I'm just thinking, he's sitting on a goldfish, like a gold mine.
Goldfish.
Geez, I hope he kissed it and chucked it back. JT, he did. Did he do the Rex Hunt, or he take it home and throw it on the grill?
Didn't actually tell us in the story, but I'm pretty sure it's probably not good eating, so he probably did throw it back. So anyway, that was our weird, wonderful and wacky segment, which means, Donnie, it is time to get our geek on.
Geek of the week.
Oh, yeah. Now, we love a little bit of geek. Now, I wanted to share with our listeners today.
Geek,
well, I do. Well, I love a bit of geek. That's very, very true.
Now, I'm always fascinated by what you come up with. What do you got?
Oh, well, thanks, mate. What I came up with today, I thought, you know, given it's sort of we're rounding up until the end of the year, I thought, well, I wonder what the people of the good people of Australia have been searching in Google.
Oh.
So we thought what we've done is we've actually come up with the top 10, this is true, legit stuff, the overall search terms for Google in 2020. Now, Don, I know what you're probably thinking. Number one clearly would have been GiddyUp podcast.
How do I get onto GiddyUp podcast?
Yeah, followed by
awesome review.
Yeah, and who is Donnie and who is JT would have been 2 and 3. No doubt, but that goes without saying. But aside from that, mate, I'm going to throw up here. It's very, very surprising. And before I throw it up, what do you reckon? And I'll ask our listeners, what do you reckon would have been the most searched term in Australia in 2020? Now, it's been a big year. There's been a lot of stuff happening, so it could be anything. What's your bet on?
In Australia this year, well, I tell you what, don't answer it now. How about, have you got a list? Did you say you had a list?
I have a list and I'm going to show it, so that's why I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, you're going to show it? Okay, so why don't we have a talk about, have you got something from like lower end of the list? We'll discuss that and give people a chance to put in their...
put your nominations up. We've got a couple coming through right now. While that's coming up, what I will talk about, I just want to give a shout out to David Burton, one of our great listeners out there. David actually sent us in a bit of an article for our geek section, and it's about China. Now, we know they've been up to some interesting stuff over there in China, of course, but they've just come out and said that they are going to have a weather modification system launched by 2025. And you're going, what the hell is a weather modification system? They're actually going to put stuff up in the clouds. They're just going to inject stuff into the clouds, which is actually going to make it rain or suppress hail. So there's two things that that it's going to do. So that is legit stuff that is actually going to happen in 2025 in China, and it's going to cover a massive amount of area. So we're talking 1.35 billion acres of land. They are going to create artificial rain.
Well, they won't be bloody using Australian coal for it, that's for sure, JT. They won't be popping lobster up there or milk or wine.
No, I won't be using any Australian products the way it's going. So, so anyway, that's coming up in 2025 So, anyway, we've had some great nominations from everyone about what's coming up. So what do you reckon, Donnie?
What I find really interesting about those people that are nominating, and thank you so much because we love this interaction. It's awesome. What I find really interesting is, well, the way these minds tick. I often think that maybe they're wanting this, or maybe.
Where to go with that one, Donnie?
Anyway, I'm really fascinated. So,
all right. Well, let's put everyone out of their misery, right?
What was the number one thing this year?
Let's do it.
COVID's got to get a run, surely.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I would have thought Corona has to be number one, but I can tell you now it wasn't. And coronavirus was, so any sort of variation of the word was not. The number one most searched term in Australia was actually the US election.
Really? They're trying to find out when that shit's going to be over. And I think, JT, it's as of today, old Bin Laden, what's his name? The other bloke, not Trumpy. Trumpy got the arse today.
Oh, did he?
The college elections, they gave him the nod. And said,
it's all official,
mate,
is it?
You've won it. Yep.
You're out. There we go.
Official as it'll get. Yep. So there you go. That was the number one search.
Yeah. So I'm going to put the
around the world, JT.
No, this is Australia. So I'm going to actually put up, and it's surprising because have a look at this list. And for those that aren't watching, I'll read this out. But so number one was the US election. Number two was coronavirus, which is not unexpected. Number three, NBA. Again, very surprising. Number four was Zoom. Now we all, of course, know. Everyone's been going to Zoom meetings, so not surprising. Coronavirus symptoms was number five. Kobe Bryant, who sadly, tragically passed away earlier in the year. The weather tomorrow is number seven. And fires near me, number eight. Obviously, we had the bushfires earlier in the year. Coronavirus Victoria. Obviously, Vic sort of wore the brunt of that for a long period of time. And then Trump versus Biden again at number 10. So the fascination there with, I just thought it was really interesting to see how many people are, interested in or searching for the US election as opposed to, stuff that's happening here locally.
Podcast.
Well, that's exactly right. That's
maybe we made it clear, JT, how people can just jump on and find it. So that's an interesting comment there by Bryony about the Elgin ladies. And of course, you would have seen both of those had the search word of sex. So that is not in the DNA, JT.
No, not at all, Donnie. And now on that theme, if you think that's interesting, we also got the top 10 list for how to. So, how to do this or how to do that. Now,
do not ask this one. We've seen what they come up with search words.
Yeah, we might have to drop our ratings down again from not kid friendly.
Lower, can we?
Well, that's
what
true.
happened, JT? What did they? What was how to?
Well, here we go. So top 10 how to Google searches for 2020. So how to make hand sanitizer was number one. Not surprising.
I love that. I love that people take things into their own hands, including sanitizer.
Right. How to make a face mask. How to use Zoom. How to get tested for coronavirus, how to make bread, how to make self-raising flour, how to apply for Centrelink, good old Aussies, how to buy shares. Well, if they'd listened into the GiddyUp podcast, we would have told them number 8. How to apply for JobKeeper. And number 10, which maybe is just because people are staying home and they're looking for a bit of fun, how to make whipped coffee.
Wow. And JT, is there any sort of correlations with what's hot at the time? Like, so in other words, does a TikTok bloody blow up and then all of a sudden, the world wants to know how to wrap presents in a weird way or make whipped coffee?
Oh, look, there's no doubt there's different surges, but this was overall for the whole year. So the collection of all the searches over the whole year. And the final one I thought I'd share with everyone as well is goods. More. Yeah, the goods and giving. So this is if you're...
we like this one.
So goods and giving. Number 1 was where to buy face masks. Not surprising. Number 2 was buy toilet paper online. Number 3, buy from the bush. Number 4, buy a PS5. That'll make all the kids out there pretty happy. Number 5 is buy Aussie now. We're seeing a real trend now to people wanting to buy Aussie. Where to buy hand sanitizer. Buy isopropyl alcohol to make your own stuff. Buy a bale was number 8. Buy Xbox Series X, number 9. And buy dumbbells. Of course, everyone wants to start getting fit. Was in at number 10, Don.
Hey, JT, I'm going to tell you something that is piss funny. Now, I didn't know about your list, but I've got a life hack later on, and it might
Yes, you do.
it might explain why some people wanted to know how to. So stay tuned for that. It is an absolute cracker.
It is a funny one. So there we go. So hope you enjoyed our Geek of the Week. We're going to get into our You Bloody Ripper. You Bloody Ripper! Donnie, this is all yours, mate. What have you found for us this week?
I'll tell you in just a moment, JT.
I reckon if I just give you a little bit of a hint, it's something to do with a dad and nightmares. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, it sort of does, because I did read this a long time ago, JT, and now I've forgotten what it was. No, I tell you what it was, and you might be able to help me, because it's more in your space. It's a geeky sort of thing. Yeah, right? Okay. Now, I thought you might sneak this into the geeky of the weeky sort of space, because this dad was having nightmares, and because of his PTSD and
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yep, and it could be a number of things, ex-wives and stuff. But seriously, what he would find is that he would be absolutely just waking up in terrible nightmares. And so his son, correct me if I'm wrong, JT, his son developed this little app for the watch, right? And what it does is it reads his brain signals, and just before, like, it can measure that he's about to be like woken up and freaked out by this, because there's so much interaction in the brain. And this little app just gives him a little shake or a little vibration or something, just to break that, like as a circuit breaker, so that it doesn't completely wake him up, and it keeps him settled enough to break the cycle and go back to sleep. How did I go? Did I get that right?
I'll tell you what, that's actually, you almost nailed it. It's this guy, his son entered a coding competition to try and find a way to help his dad. And basically what it does is it detects the onset, I'm reading this, of nocturnal disturbances by measuring the wearer's heart rate and movement. So before the nightmare can take hold, the app delivers a subtle disruption equivalent to a gentle nudge to reset the wearer's sleep pattern. And you can calibrate it to get the right vibration, all that sort of stuff. It's had a huge impact on this guy's dad, and they're now working with Apple of actually looking at releasing this as an app as part of their health app. So it's fantastic, and the son just trying to help out his dad, and inadvertently is actually helping millions of people across the world that suffer the same problem.
I'll tell you what's really interesting, JT, and that is the compassion that a son has for his dad, as opposed to my beautiful first wife. If I may sneak into a bit of a snore, and I get that gentle little nudge 3 inch deep into me ribs that stops me from bloody waking up, and then I go, oh yeah, that's the app working again.
Mate, rightly so. It's the app, it never fails. So here we go. Here's a great picture of the good son and his dad. So good on you, mate. That's a fantastic effort, and that's why you're in our You Bloody Ripper segment.
Love it, JT. Love it.
Awesome. Now the next segment, because we are just moving at a flying pace tonight, Donnie.
We're
this
flying,
is when
JT.
we just hand the reins over to you, which is called. Donnie's Pick of the Week.
Right, JT, I've refreshed my my memory. I now know exactly what I'm going to talk about this week. JT, it's vulnerability. It breaks me to think that that people would prey on the vulnerable. And by vulnerable, JT, I'm talking about people that are, well, they're hard up for sex. They, not necessarily sex, but
the
compassion.
one moment I didn't have my finger near the bloody mute button, and here we go. He's at it already. You sensed it, didn't you? You sensed that I didn't have my finger near it, and away you go.
Busy. I'm going to sneak in here now. No, JT, I'll tell you what it is, right? Is I was doing a little bit of research for our show, as I often do, sort of, and I stumbled onto a site, and it told me about these scammers, right? And my computer didn't shut down, so it wasn't one of those sites. Right. But it was a Tinder story, right? And I thought, I've never been on Tinder. I've fortunately been married No, I
Tinder.
haven't. True story.
Okay.
Oh, that's a Tinder sound, is it? Oh, okay.
Yep, rejected.
Okay, so anyway, JT, what I found is I thought, I'd like to know how the other half lives. So I'm reading through this article, and I find out that the scammers, right?
Nervous.
The scammers, there's a thing on Tinder, and it's called like the super like, right? Which is that, from all accounts, is the granddaddy of like your swipe. I don't know which, left or right, one way or the other.
Right for good, left for bad. Yep.
Okay, so you're swiping right to keep, put your hand up for a few, right? And allegedly, if you do the old super
this is
like,
going to end
JT,
well. This is not going to end
no,
well.
it's all good. It's all good. If you did the super like, JT,
Right. Yep.
right,
Yep.
that, and I'm led to believe you get like one of these a day, right?
Okay. Yep.
I don't know, might be one a day, I don't know. Anyway, but you get one. And if you get one, it's basically like telling the person that you give it to, buddy, stop, press, put the phone down, you got my attention, you are smoking hot.
Okay.
Right? That's the
Yep.
plan with the super light. What I am fascinated about, JT, is the bloody scammers have gotten onto this. They've found out that if they go through and they do the old super like, they get people's attention, and then they just go fishing, JT, not for goldfish, but for the vulnerable lovers out there, the ones looking for companionship. And this is the scam, JT. It's always a chick, and she's doing it to a bloke. Right, so she gives him the super like, and he says, "Oh, geez, this is bloody good. I'll give her my attention. Yep, you got me." And then she says, "Oh, no worries. You know, I'm making money. No worries. Love's good. You know, it's easy to make money." And they go, "Oh shit, is it really?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, no worry. I've been doing Bitcoin. You know, I'm killing it. You want me to do it? Just buddy, you know, here's a link." And she thinks she's sending out a link to the Mr. Vulnerable, or he thinks he's getting this link for how to buy Bitcoin and to do what she's doing, which is make a mozza out of Bitcoin. And then he just says, "Oh yeah, I'll have a piece of that," puts a few bucks into the account just because she said, "Oh, you know, put a bit in and you'll go all right." She scams it, takes the cash and pisses off. JT, that is bloody devastating. What it tells me is that people are vulnerable and they're willing to give up their cold hard on the fact that they might be getting a bit of attention. I'm saying this now, JT, because we know, because I've done the research, that things spike around this time of year. The scammers and the vulnerability, that's stealing bloody parcels and shit, bad shit happens, JT. So I'm warning all the single lovers out there, if you get a super like, just be careful. And do not give anybody money to any sucker over the internet unless you know them well. Real well. That's my advice, JT.
That is possibly the longest explanation I've ever heard of just your standard dating scam that's been around since the year dot. So the only difference between that and a normal dating scam is the super like. But seriously, that scam's been around forever.
I've been known for bloody 23 years. I don't know all this stuff. It's new to me. And there's bound to be other people out there that have found themselves in this space. So I'm here to help them.
All right, so
we'll
we'll put
machine for a reason, JT.
That's true. We will
From now on, I'd like to be referred to as the love machine.
so we will put that in as our community service obligation. So mate, shit pick of the week, but no, thank you. For anyone who's out there single, look out for the super likes. They're probably not legit, and we can just move on.
Right, now what have you got, JT? Because now it's your turn. It better be good.
Yeah, I know. I want to be good after that.
That's a stupid thing. Of course it is.
JT's Pick of the Week.
Well, Donnie, I wanted to give a shout out to all the surgeons out there.
Oh.
So there's a new show on Netflix called The Surgeon's Cut. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty entertaining. And Boof just said I should give you a break. Well, no, it's not happening.
I love how she rolls.
I'm just gonna go harder, Boof. You know, and he loves it. The
JT,
Surgeon's Cut.
You're not going to show any needles, are you?
No needles. I promise, no needles, Donnie. But I am going to show an X-ray though, and because this is just incredible. So I want to give a shout out first of all to The Surgeon's Cut on Netflix. Fascinating show. It's only 4 episodes, but just the insight behind some surgeons. There's a little bit of surgery stuff, but just the story. I watched a guy about a neurosurgeon, and it was just fascinating. His background, who jumped the fence in Mexico, literally jumped the border, back when he was a little kid, and he's now one of the top neurosurgeons in the world working in the US. And it's just a fascinating story about how he went from where he was to where he is today. So anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to the surgeons. Cut little heads up on Netflix, but I want to give you a homegrown story about a little girl called Nicole. Now, Nicole was found overseas, and we've got a lot of missions that go and sort of help people in vulnerable communities, etc. And this lady, little young lady, Nicole, was found in the Philippines, and she was found in a school. She's one of 6, and she had severe scoliosis. Now, Don, I know for those that don't know, with scoliosis, I'm sure you're aware of it. It's a curvature of the spine, and it's not pretty. And here's an X-ray. It's only an X-ray, so it's nothing too graphic. But you can see the extent of her scoliosis here. Now, in most
a snake.
in most cases, scoliosis with a mild curvature has less than 25 degrees, doesn't require intervention. So less than 25 degrees doesn't require intervention. When the curve goes to 40 degrees, which it's called moderate, when they're considering operations. But Nicole's here, as you can see, is incredibly bent. It was 2 at 90 degrees, which is just incredible. And she was brought over originally. They brought her over to help fix her up over here. And there was a great surgeon over here who volunteered to do it for nothing. And it was done out of the Epworth. Now, the Epworth are the leading sort of spinal hospital in Melbourne and in Australia. And this poor little girl, I'm just trying to find it, she was like 25 kilos, 22 kilos, right? And so anyway, they brought her out. Now, and then obviously COVID hit, and they couldn't do the surgery, etc. But just through a luck of fate, with online learning, because she was at school, she was still actually able to join her classmates online, because everyone got moved to online, even in the Philippines. So she was still able to continue school, and obviously they tried to health fatten her up a bit, I was going to say, over here, and get some food.
Where's the mute button, JT?
I know,
be careful now about what you're saying.
Oh, that's right. So they got her up to 30 kilos. So she put on 8 kilos, which is fantastic. And then anyway, by the end of November, they actually did the surgery. And it was obviously pretty complex surgery, as you can imagine, given how bad it was. And I just want to show you, this is the after effect. And also, you'll see the surgeon here who donated his time to do it. And I think, when people do that, they absolutely deserve a shout out. So here's the photo of her spine after. So look at that.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, so
you could play snakes and ladders with that.
It's pretty good, isn't it? So again, before.
Holy shit.
And after. Oops, can't do that. And after. So
that is super impressive, JT.
Mate, it's fantastic, isn't it? So that's Professor Yang who actually did the surgery, and the best photo of all that I want to show you is this one, and that is her.
Up and about. Look at her go. How bloody good is that?
Look at that smile on her face. So, just thought it was a fantastic story, and it's amazing when you see, whether it's missions or charities, whatever it is, come together, and that's when you see the benefits of that stuff. And to Professor Yang, who put his time into actually doing that, the Epworth who chipped in and donated theatre time and all that sort of stuff to literally change that girl's life and her family. Bloody amazing story. So that was my pick of the week, Tony.
Oh, JT, I tell you what, that's what I love about your pick of the week is usually you overcorrect after I take it in one direction about scumbags or something bad, and you just bring some beautiful humanity to the show. So well done, mate. That is a cracking pickup. Good job.
Thanks, mate.
Bizarre News Stories.
Now, we love to give you a couple of bizarre news stories each week, and we're just going to give you a couple of quick ones this week. The first one, Donnie, is this guy. Now, I don't know if you've read the article at all, because I skimmed through it, so I'm looking for some help here. But it was I got the photo.
Chances, JT?
I know, right?
Wait, what is it first, and I'll tell you if I've done as much research.
Mate, it's our scorpion friend here. And if you haven't done the research, I can pretty much tell you, there's this guy who was 25 years old, an Egyptian guy. And he was basically at uni and said, you know what, screw this, I'm done with uni. I'm going to decide I'm going to start farming scorpions. And I'm going to milk them and get their venom and make anti-venoms.
Did he do this at one of those like week parties where they just got shit faced for a week, high as a kite, and then decide let's go and milk scorpions for a living? Who does that, JT?
I know. How you come up with these things? I have no idea. But let me just show you a photo of this guy here. Here we go. I don't know about you, but there's no hope in hell I'd be doing that. But anyway, you sort of go, this is just ridiculous, right? What they do is they use a coloured UV light and they expose the scorpions to a tiny little electric current, and that stimulates the release of the venom. And 1 gram of the venom can produce between 20 and 50,000 doses of anti-venom. And obviously, if you get stung, you kind of want the anti-venom quick. But
Pretty
1
handy.
gram of scorpion venom can fetch $10,000.
How much?
10 grand. So this guy's actually got 80,000 scorpions in various farms across Egypt. So I thought that was well and truly worthy of being in our bizarre news stories.
Bullshit. That deserves to be with the money whisperer, JT. That's some serious coin. Mate,
Next time I go to your place, I'll see you out there with these little scorpions trying to zap them with shit.
I'll put them out under my Christmas lights and see if they'll give me some cash for that venom. Holy crap, that's big time, mate.
I know, it's bizarre, right? Now, the other one is just absolutely takes the cake for bizarre news stories, and I think it almost takes the cake for the year, Donnie. China, they're known for doing some weird and interesting things, but they've just come out with the China's Aviation Authority have released new COVID-19 guidelines, safety guidelines. And of course, that's very good. We want everyone to be COVID safe, of course, when they're in the air. But Donnie, how's this?
I love a story like this, JT.
Yeah, you know where it's going. It doesn't start well, does it?
I know where this is going. The Chinese, they are innovators, right? And we can sort of take the piss if they're listening to GiddyUp podcasts and get back to politics and let our bloody livestock and shit get into your country. But they're probably not listening to us, JT. So I feel comfortable in saying that they are innovative, and sometimes, well, they think a bit more like a bloody scorpion whisperer. They think up some weird shit. And how's this, JT? The flights, the Chinese aviation have said that Chinese flight attendants should wear diapers, should wear nappies, because...
You're kidding me, right?
No, it's a true story, JT. I had a bit of a chuckle when I was doing the research.
They've got to wear diapers.
Well, they're suggesting it. And the recommendation comes after a woman flying from Italy to South Korea in August contracted COVID-19 during her trip. And investigators cited her visit to the lavatory, the only place on the plane where she removed her mask, as a possible cause for infection. So one way to avoid that is just don't go to the shitter. Just keep a nappy on there, and Bob's your uncle, no COVID.
Wow, there you go. Yeah, that's weird shit.
And that is weird. Next they'll be taking their body. Nah, anyway, let's move on, because I can't take that. Any place won't deserve the dump button.
Yeah, no, I was just about to get my hand over there on it right away. So, there you go. So there's a couple of bizarre news stories, but honestly, that one takes the cake. Yeah, just go and wear diapers, everyone, so you don't have to use the toilet. Bloody hell, what's the world coming to, Donnie?
That's why they run out of toilet paper, because the word got out. Oh, jeez.
I know.
Once upon a time.
Donnie, now this is, I love this segment because we get to go back and look at some weird stuff in history, and we've come up with some amazing facts around history. But I've done a bit of a pivot this week, Don.
Oh, here we go. I thought we'd get through all of our episodes without you saying pivot. And you bloody said it.
There it is. I'm going to say it again. Pivot. And bum wraps solve everything, Don, according to Nat. That's very good. Very good. So what I thought, I'm going to put you and our listeners to the test here, Donnie. We are going to look at famous movie misquotes.
Oh. I've seen Spiro sent me some misfires.
No. We won't be sharing Miss Spiro's stuff at all. So I'm going to read a quote to you, Don, and I want you to tell me if you think it is correct or incorrect.
Oh, okay. All right,
so the first quote I'm going to throw at you. Houston, we have a problem.
Correct, JT. That's famous. What do you bloody mean, Bob?
Incorrect, my friend. The actual quote was, Houston, we've had a problem.
Is that right?
Yeah, there we go. So there's one.
How'd that get lost in translation?
I don't know, mate. There's plenty. Heather just mentioned one with Gone with the Wind. There is one with Gone with the Wind. I haven't actually got that one here, but here's another one for you. And again, I'm going to say, what do you reckon? Hello, Clarice. Know what that's out of?
Surely, no, but it's surely it's right.
Silence of the Lambs, very famous line.
Oh, wait, say it again. Say it again.
Hello, Clarice.
Oh, yes, no, that's correct. I've watched that.
It was actually Good Evening, Clarice.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't watch as closely as I thought I did. JT.
Now, I just want to quote another quote. Now, one of my favourite movies.
Oh, Sargy loves this.
All right, one of the quotes there, Donnie, was, "We're going to need a bigger boat."
Yes, JT. Yes, that I'm going to go with that. What?
Yeah, it was actually, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Yeah, because I'm out of here, Skipper. That's how it should have gone.
And the final one, Donnie, A Few Good Men. Have you seen A Few Good Men? Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson.
Well, there's a famous line in that, JT. So
yeah, there is a famous line. "You want the truth? You can't handle the truth."
Correct. What?
I know, right? It was actually, the actual version is an exchange between Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, and we've just all shortened it because it was a bit catchier. But the actual sequence was Nicholson says, "You want answers?" And Cruise says, "I want the truth." And then Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth."
Well, stuff me. Who would have shortened that? Not the Aussies. Aussies wouldn't have done it.
No, we don't shorten anything in Australia, do we? So there we go. I thought we'd just do something a little bit different for
Well,
our
that is
Once
different,
Upon a
JT.
Time.
That's why you're at the helm.
Oh, thanks, mate.
What's happening with Gen Z?
Good to see
What
Daniel
about
Edemick from
JT?
Tom Emmys. He's with us. He's back.
He's
He's
in the
been
house.
missing for weeks,
well,
but he's
gone
back. That's
MIA, mate.
exciting.
We've been giving away shit he didn't even know about.
That's right. Thanks, Dan. We've just given away 300 pairs of headsets tonight.
Every listener won a prize tonight.
Everyone's a winner. Thanks to tomm.com.au. Great place to get your Christmas presents just quietly. And I know he's on the money with getting stuff mailed out, except when it goes to our listeners and we stuff it up. But any other time, he's all over it. So there's still plenty of time if you want to get in for Christmas. I'd be heading to.
That's a good idea, JT.
They have
There's
some cracking Christmas presents on there.
Some awesome, yep.
Now, in our Gen Z question segment, I should say, we just sort of try and give people up to date with what's happening in Gen Z because, let's face it, we're getting a bit on a bit and we feel like we're a bit removed from what's going on with Gen Z.
The whippersnippers, they're all over everything, mate.
Now, of course, it's been a big month in gaming consoles. We had the launch of the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox came out last month. So I thought I'd throw it out to you, Johnny, and go, guess what the best-selling console was last month?
Oh, it'd be the fridge.
No, not the fridge.
It wasn't an Xbox fridge or something.
We did feature the Xbox fridge a
was
few
that
episodes
fella?
back.
Snoop
Dogg
Yeah.
with the Xbox
did
fridge.
Did that take off or not?
No, it's fair to say it didn't. No,
Thought it was going to be the big bloody hit.
Got a lot of publicity though, and I'm pretty sure that's the objective. So it did well there. The best-selling console last month, despite this massive new launch of PlayStation Xbox, was actually, and Daniel Adamek has just nailed it right then, it was actually the Nintendo Switch, which is actually, it's actually been around a while, the Nintendo Switch. So that was the best-selling console last month. So if you're looking at going, what do I get the kids for Christmas? The reality is it's actually very hard to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox at the moment. And what the market research actually found was that the Switch is typically not the only gaming console that households have. So typically people will either go, oh, we're PlayStation people or we're Xbox people. But what the research found is you might be either, but you'll still have a Nintendo Switch. So
really?
A lot of households, just have the Nintendo Switch. Still the number one selling console is.
So it's not like holding forward like a Nintendo Switch is like the double up sits in the middle. It's not, if you're a fan of Xbox or a fan of what's the other one, the other one, then you're probably... So it's bipartial, JT. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's bipartial. That's exactly right. So now they do target the kids very well, as Daniel Adamek has just pointed out. And the Switch is obviously great because you can actually use it as a gaming console. You can plug it into your TV and play it on the TV, but you can also just play it, without the TV, and you can remove the controls. They're remote. And it's a little bit like the Wii. I know we just pulled out the Wii not long ago, Donnie, and it's a little bit like the Wii. You can actually connect up some really fun games, and it's sort of that more family-style kind of game. So I think that's why, you've got the kids that are really into their gaming. They'll be on either Xbox or PlayStation, but when you want to do the family stuff or a bit more fun, you sort of go Nintendo.
That's what it's called. Switch. Bloody genius.
Which, that's what I thought was pretty impressive. Now, Donnie, we are going to share a life hack. Now, we have to give everyone a heads up that it is a visual kind of thing, this one, but I'll just do the intro and you can talk it up.
Right on, mate. Now, JT, I did say before there was a piss funny life hack coming up, and the reason I said that is because our number, I think it was about number 9 or 10 item for how to buy, or one of those segments what you had back early days, was dumbbells, JT.
Yes, number 10 on the list it was as most searched items, yeah.
There we go. And a life hack for this week, one of the life hacks we've got for you is if you're changing a nappy, and I've had 4, well, not me, but my beautiful first wife has 4 kids, us, and they're little squirmy suckers when they're at nappy changing stage, right?
Hard to
and they don't lie still, and one of them has the spout, and you just got to dodge from time to time. But I tell you what, if you want to pin them down, like legally, and no children are harmed in the making of this, JT, this is how you do it. JT, picture please. There it is. How good is that? How good is that? There's a little baby and arms stretched wide like Jesus, and then pinned down with dumbbells, mate. That's as bloody good as it gets. And the kid's smiling too. So what's not to like about a life hack that pins a kid down with dumbbells? Unlike my brother who tried to knock me out with one, but it is a very good use of dumbbells, JT. So that's a life hack for this week. Now, mate, have you got one? I've got one other quick one for eggs.
Oh, yeah, what do you
JT.
got? Oh, eggs, yeah, shoot, what do you got?
Now, I know you're a big fan of the eggs, right? You know when you're doing sunny side up, right? You just go, I want the sunny side up. But every now and then, you'll just get a bit like the top doesn't bloody cook right. Because there's a bit like there ain't no heat getting to the top. JT, this is what you do. Get a little cup of water, just like a little, I don't know, a bit more than a spoon, a little bit, and throw it in the pan. Put a lid on it, JT. The steam will rise up and it'll cook beautifully the top of the egg, still sunny side up, and it looks a treat and tastes bloody great. So there you go, JT, little Christmas tip for you, mate. When you
there you go. I look forward to a video demonstration for our listeners, Donnie. You're going to do that and post it on our page. I'd love to see it.
I will cook eggs for my beautiful first wife tomorrow, JT, and I will do that and post it tomorrow.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I want to see it in action. You've got me excited. Anyway, to cook eggs.
Yeah,
this is very exciting.
Don's Kitchen, mate. Look out. This thing will take off.
Could be huge. Now, we normally bring you a couple of different segments, and we're going to still got a few to go before we wrap up the show. We've got Media Watch, very interesting Media Watch this week. We've got Dad's Joke just about to drop, and of course, we've got the Money Whisperer. So I'm going to share the Money Whisperer with our friends and see what he's got to say for the final one for the year.
Hey, JT.
G'day guys, it's the Money Whisperer here with a weekly update on all things money. This week I'll be talking briefly about a couple of shares that have caught my interest. I love buying shares that have been brought down in value by some major events, and often the market overreacts. We saw that with COVID, with some shares getting absolutely smashed and then they bounce back very quickly, and we try to take advantage of a few of those along the way. There's a couple now. The latest crisis in Australia that we seem to be dealing with is our trade war with China, or more appropriately, more accurately, the China punishing Australia for standing up to them at the moment. And there's 2 companies that are getting punished for that, especially, and that's the A2 milk brand and the Treasury Wines wine distribution business, both of whom I think are excellent companies, and their long-term future is very good. They're just down at the moment, and when this plays out, I think they'll bounce back very quickly and have some really good growth. So I'm waiting a couple of months, but I've definitely got my eye on those two shares, and when they drop to a level that I think is absolute steal, then I'm going to jump in and buy them, and I will keep you guys updated for when that occurs. All right, talk to you guys next week. Cheers.
He's always on it.
Oh, JT, I tell you what, talk about the Money Whisperer. What I love about the Money Whisperer is he doesn't pull any punches. He stuck it right up China and said, they're trying to punish us, so he's called it. But he puts his money where his mouth is, JT. A few episodes back, the Money Whisperer said to us, he said, boys, keep an eye on WebChat.
He did.
They were about at $2, JT.
Yep.
I
What are they now, Donny?
myself a little bit of Google searching, JT, and I did happen to jump onto a couple. They're at $5.03 today.
Bang! $2 to $5.
If you don't mind, they're having a nice little steady climb. So, mate, seriously, the Money Whisperer is on the money. A2 Milk and Treasury Wines, I've taken notes of those, and I will be, I'll be watching with interest to see how they go. So, mate, I tell you what, it is rainbows and pots of gold when the Money Whisperer talks, JT, and we love his voice.
We love hearing the Money Whisperer's tips. So, there we go. Now, of course, this is time for the final one for the year, Donny.
Dad joke of the week.
We've had
JT, you know the deal. I have to do the community service announce because I don't have the dump button over here. You've got it there. Do the kiddies need to leave the room and go for milk, JT?
This is very safe. It is kitty safe, people. Kitty safe.
Right.
All right. So
nappy changing safe.
yeah, that's right. Now we've of course we've had some cracking jokes throughout the year. Thank you to everyone that's helped and sent some in because it is hard work finding some good jokes each week. So, but I want to share this one with you, Donny. And let me just start by saying there was a man on his Harley, and he's riding along the California beach when suddenly the sky clouded above his head, and in a booming voice, God said, "Because you have tried to be faithful to me in all ways, I will grant you one wish." And so the biker pulled over and said, okay, well, build a bridge to Hawaii so I can ride over anytime I want. Pretty smart thinking, I would have thought.
Bloody smart. I like a biker that thinks like that. That's good.
Anyway, God replied, he said, "Your request is materialistic. Think of the enormous challenges for that kind of undertaking, the supports required to reaching the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, the concrete and steel it would take to put it together. I can do it, but it's hard for me to justify your desire for worldly things. Take a little bit more time and think it's something that could possibly help mankind." Well, pretty fair, I suppose. So the biker thinks about this for a long time, pondering. And he says, finally, he goes, "God, I wish that I and all men could understand women. I want to know how she feels inside, what she's thinking when she gives me the silent treatment, why she cries, what she means when she says nothing's wrong, why she snaps and complains when I try to help, and how I can make a woman truly happy." So God thinks about it and replies, "You want 2 lanes or 4 on that bridge?"
Oh, very good, JT. Oh, no, that's very good. Now, just quietly, JT, while you were telling that joke, we might have dropped the code word and it is lit up. And if I'm not mistaken, there is 98% of our listening population is female, JT. That might change after that joke.
Oopsie. Sorry, ladies.
No, that's bloody great, JT. They are a complex beast, but the most beautiful on the planet without question.
Yes, we love it. Anyway, now Donny, of course, I want to talk about our Media Watch segment because we bring clips from all over the world. We've had some absolutely hilarious clips that we've got. We've had bloopers, we've had all sorts of stuff, but I've got something really special for this week. I love that intro, Don. Let's build it up. Let's build it up big.
Big.
Now, of course, we've spoken a lot about wanting to get the GiddyUp podcast out there and, just get a lot of people coming on board and getting excited about the GiddyUp podcast and
We've
sharing
even
it
talked
with
about
their
a sex
friends.
tape,
And,
JT.
We would stop at nothing to build up the GiddyUp podcast, but that might be where it stops. But
I was a bit concerned when you were going there, JT.
But what I love about, Donnie, it was a couple of weeks ago, I presented to 900 small business owners, and
nice work, Joe.
Nice. It's good to get out there. It's good to get in the media every now and then. And every time I do, Donnie, I always try and drop in a little bit about the GiddyUp podcast. I run a little.
Good work, Joe.
I do my own podcast. Try and give it a bit of a plug. But Donnie, I kind of feel that, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit small fry. We know that between us, there's one celebrity here, and it's you, Donnie. You've been everywhere. You've travelled the world. You've been an elite athlete for a long period of time. You've been in the Celebrity Grand Prix. You've been interviewed by Andrew Denton. I could go on. You're the big deal. You're the real deal. And
that's all true, JT. But we don't need to, just keep it real here.
I get excited though, Don, because I think, with your incredible, platform that you've got, we're all going to benefit out of this. Me, our listeners, because you're going to talk up the GiddyUp podcast whenever you get a platform. Well, I'm just sharing how I get excited about these things, Don. And so during the week, I I like reading, and I was just reading during the week, Donnie, and I thought, this is it's a great day for a read. Let's The Age, lovely Victorian paper, has lots of fantastic information, Donnie. And I was flicking around, and
I know where you're going.
Do you really? Because let me just share an image with our audience, Donnie.
Oh, JT.
Because there just happened to be this bloke called Don Elgin who was just up there in print in big large photo, and an interview with Don Elgin. I thought, wow, this is big. This is Donnie. When I talk about plugging the GiddyUp podcast, mate, I'm small fry. Donnie's gone all the way to The Age. This is huge. So,
mate? Did they print the big wrap I gave you?
Mate, nothing. Donuts. No mention of JT. No mention of GiddyUp podcast. Not a zip, Donnie. Nothing.
Well, on a side note, how good did that back lawn look? Like, it's a lot of work went into that, JT. I can't believe they didn't print it. I didn't see the article, JT. So I've had a bit on this week. So they didn't mention. JT, is that why this is the last episode? Because I thought we were doing 4 more.
Mate, I'm done. We had them all scheduled, but I'm done. You shit like that, you get the Age, mate. The big spread in The Age, and you don't give us a plug. You give us nothing.
You're a tough taskmaster, JT. I'm sorry, mate. Actually, true story, JT. The people that bloody helped me get that article or had me as part of that didn't also get a mention. So don't feel too bad, JT. The Age had their own agenda.
No. So in all seriousness, though, mate, what were you doing in The Age?
That article was discussing around the fact that the world has now switched on to the fact that people can work from home, and it's not such a big deal. And I remember years ago, we were going to different places, and of course, as a speaker, we were very fortunate to go to different venues. JT, like you said, 900 small business owners. For you last week, I get to go to a lot of places to speak, and often it's to launch things. So I remember launching a City of Casey. They were talking about, their new hub, but more importantly, people were having the opportunity to work from home and different stuff, and it was a new space. And so that article in The Age was about saying, hang on, COVID hasn't been all bad. People with disabilities have now got a chance to work from home. Because the world understands that working from home is a natural part of life now. So, and there's a lot of people with disabilities that would love the opportunity to work from home, whether it's they're studying from home or, in my case, JT, it's if my leg's sore, mate, I really don't want to bloody put my leg on and ride my motorbike or drive my car and go to work. I'd much prefer to be able to work from home. I can leave my leg off all day. And honestly, it's the best recovery is to leave it off when it is sore. And so that was my tiny little piece in The Age, and there was a lot of people talking about it. And so, of course, one of my jobs now is that I work with a group of people that provide classes for people with disabilities online. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to see, the disabled community or the community filled with people with disabilities having the opportunity to literally connect with a far more normal society, because people with disabilities have been saying it for years that, geez, wouldn't it be nice to be able to work from home or study from home or, and it not be such a big deal. So, mate, that was the piece in The Age. So, unfortunately, GiddyUp didn't get a run. Sorry, buddy.
That's all right, mate. It sounds like it was a very good cause, so we'll let it slide this time, Donnie. But next time, I expect GiddyUp podcast.
Well, there won't be
mate.
next time, JT. I'll refuse the interview if they don't mention GiddyUp podcast.
There we go. Now you're talking. Now, of course, we've got the big wheel spin coming up for everyone that managed to get the word in Rainbow before. So, but before we get to that, Donnie, we have a lovely segment where you like to give people a hot tip.
Oh, JT, the final fling, mate. This one is one of the 7 things. It's on the website, and if anyone's followed along with the GiddyUp podcast, you will see that we've posted them all on the donelgin.com.au website. That JT, you have done an awesome job building that, by the way, in one of the 3 seconds that you've had spare in the last 10 years that we've been working together. And I love the fact that on there I've got the daily tips, and there's 7 things I do every day, and we've talked about using a watch to smile and using a door to reset your mind. Tonight's one is about giving credit where credit is due. And so easy we get caught up in, the things that people haven't done, or they've stuffed it up, or somebody's done something and somebody else might take the credit for it. And I'm a big believer that you can get a lot more done if you don't mind who gets the credit for it. And so my view tonight, JT, is to remind people to give credit where it's due. If somebody's done something good, no matter how big or small, let them know, because rest assured, we'll probably let people know when they've stuffed up, and we'll want to lay the boots in. So giving credit where credit's due, sometimes it's a very, very minute thing, like waving, when someone lets you in. That's a wonderful thing. They've let you in, buddy, give them acknowledgement of it. But one thing that we do, JT, is we've got what we call a stamp chart in our family, and it's for the kids predominantly. And what happens is when the kids do something that's awesome, and it's a way of us celebrating that change of behaviour, the behaviour that we want to see, we acknowledge that, and we say, right, mate, go and give yourself a stamp, whether it's Millie or Hades, and Jess and George have both had it done as well. And at the end of that stamp chart, there is a gift that they get to decide on for themselves before the stamp chart even starts. So they're working towards something, and their behaviour helps them get there. So, mate, giving credit where credit is due is my final fling for 2020, and I really hope it works for you. It's been a wonderful thing for us, and it really does make a difference. And you feel good. You actually feel good about it when somebody receives that credit that you pass on. So that's it, JT.
Mate, I love it. That's a fantastic tip and a great way to end the year. Now we are going to go to the big wheel very, very soon. I'm just getting it ready to spin now. It is loading it up. It's going to be good. And just while we're doing that, Donnie, what's Christmas, New Year look like for you?
Oh, mate, in a weird sort of way, with this wonderful job that I've got now, is I really don't have a lot of time to scratch my nose. Like, it is full on, and I love it. And knowing next year I'll be doing a lot of travel, I'll be literally around our great state and around the country, just sharing what we do so other people can sign up. And a lot of people know people with disabilities that are off to day services or don't get the opportunity. So being able to get out there and promote what we do is something that's going to keep me busy. So the small window I've got over Christmas, we're going to we do Christmas with Buff's side of the family, and we go over to Shags' joint. It's a great day. But then we only ever go to one place on Christmas Day, and it starts a big one in the morning at our house, and there's bells ringing, and we love it. We've got a great tradition each day, Christmas Day. And then, of course, the big one for us is the Elgins always have our big Christmas on Boxing Day. So really looking forward to...
the share price at Liquorland goes up normally about that time, Donnie.
It's a big one, mate. So that's exciting. So I've got that to look forward to. And then, of course, after that, we'll go to Chubb's, a couple of days up there, and then, mate, I'm going to come home, and believe it or not, I'm getting the excavator, and we're going to get rid of a few rocks out of the front yard, and I'm levelling the front yard and going to put down some turf. So I'll be working, but I bloody love it, so I can't wait.
Mate, you do love getting in all that sort of stuff. Mate, very quiet for me. I'm off for surgery on Thursday, so I've got one more day of walking upright, and then we're in strife for hopefully not that too long. So Thursday's the big op for me, so very, very easy Christmas, New Year for me.
And JT, we talk about, I've got surgery, and now regular listeners know that you've got a bit of a crook neck and you've crushed some stuff. So just give us a quick rundown, mate, because I did say to you a few weeks back, let me know, I'll be there, and I will absolutely have my nurse's outfit on and be able to give you a hand. And you haven't taken me up on that, JT.
Wonder why, Donny. Wonder why.
What is the outcome, mate? Are we going to? Are you laid up for a while, or what's the story?
Look, it's amazing what they do, and I'm actually getting my surgery done at Epworth as well, where we shared that story of the scoliosis as well. So you're in good hands when you're getting surgery done there. So all going well. I'll only be in hospital for a couple of days, and then just need to take it easy for sort of 4 to 6 weeks before you're getting back to sort of some sort of normality. But you're up walking the next day, which is pretty incredible when we're ripping bits out of your neck, and you're literally walking the next day. So looking forward to. I genuinely am looking forward to getting it, because I just had cracking headaches every day for the last couple of months. So it'll be nice to get it done, and and 2021 will hopefully be a lot more enjoyable in lots of different ways, right? So so that's me now. Anyway, it's time for the big wheel, Donny.
Right, mate. Let's get it on.
Where are we? Let me just, here we go. Oh, here it is.
Hey, JT. Oh, look at that.
Mate.
Jesus, she's a big wheel. There's a lot of rainbow colours on there, JT. And that's, of course, what they needed to do.
That's right.
This says everyone's name on
we're
there.
ready to go. Good luck, everyone. The winner of this will be getting a $150 GiddyUp voucher. Now, Donny,
Did
we've
you
also
just
got...
say good lick, JT? Is that what
Did
you
I?
said? Good.
I probably did, to be honest. But,
Hey, you're welcome.
And don't forget, best comment, Donny, is the winner of the Tom M prize, and you'll be announcing that after we spin this wheel, Don, won't you? So here we go. I'm going to click the wheel, and good luck to everyone. Ooh, it could be Spiro, I reckon.
Oh, no.
Spiro! Boom. Congratulations, Spiro. He's got the chocolates in the last one of the year. So
what has he got, JT? Has he got a Tom M voucher?
He's got a $150. We'll just get you out of the frame. He's got a $150 TomM.com. No, he hasn't. He's got a $150 trading.com voucher. And you're about to announce the winner, Donny, for the TomM.com.au prize. So what do you got for us?
I am JT. Now, this one goes to, weirdly enough, there's been quite a few comments from this young lady throughout the evening. Now, it's very difficult to not be biased because we share a similar surname. But the one I'm giving it to is not the fact that she requested sex as the most requested name on Google searches, but it is actually to Heather Elgin, my older sister, funny enough. And the comment is, I wonder if this tech would work for Epilepsy Fit. Now, JT, that was on the back of the app for the dad, for the PTS,
for the dad.
And it woke up. And so, clearly that says to me that Sarge Heather has got her head in the right space, thinking about other people. And I love that sort of stuff. I love it when people, because that's what inspiration is, JT. It comes from somewhere, it gets you thinking, and then all of a sudden, people are making, game changers on the back of that. So another example of that. So there you go. So Heather and Spiro are our winners tonight, JT. It's did we say we had another one, JT?
Did we have another one? Donny, do you want to give away another $150 GiddyUp voucher, Donny?
JT, I do, and I tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give it to somebody that
Here we go.
Well,
here we go.
When I read the comment, it made me laugh. Okay, so and that's difficult because sometimes you're concentrating, JT, on what you're saying, but there's a comment that comes up there, and it's sort of at the time it's inappropriate because we've moved on, maybe. So the one that made me laugh was from Bryony McInerney, and it was interesting search word by the Elgin ladies. And,
yes, I did see that come up. Yeah.
Both of them, they both said sex as their word, and I just thought that was piss funny. So a big shout out to Bryony. She's picked up another voucher. So that's two. I better write that down, JT, so we make sure we send that out.
Let's not stuff that up.
Yes, and can I just say, JT, a huge thank you to all the people that have sent us. I know you thank people for sending in jokes and different stuff, but I often get a lot of the research sent to me, hence why I've got no bloody idea what it is by the time it gets to you to put it in the run sheet. But I love it. I really do love it that people, they know what this show's about. It's a lot of fun, for us to put together, and probably even more if I do the research properly. But, the fact that people go to such a big effort for us, I love that. And so I'm really, really grateful. So thank you for anybody who sent us things. Thank you so much for the people I shout out to weekly and ask for the code word. So that I get that right before the show, so I don't have time to, think about where it's going to go. Thank you to my beautiful wife, JT. She does a wonderful job with a lot of research. When I say to her, "We've got nothing this week, mate. What do you got for us?" and she gets cracking. So, mate, people have really helped us, even though it's you and I on the show here and now. It really is a team effort. And JT, finally from me, a big thanks to you, mate, because you are a bloody smooth operator. You've invested. You've gone to town with the digital displays, the things that we get to enjoy each week. I love working with you. It's such fun every time we do a podcast, and it's bloody massively because of you. So well done, champion. You're a legend. Love your work.
Thank you, mate. And obviously reciprocal. And to everyone that does help contribute, and especially to Boof, because Don's beautiful first wife, Boof, does a huge amount of work on the show behind the scenes and does help us get articles and puts things into documents for us and sends us links. And it makes a huge amount of effort because we're both really flat stick a lot of the time. And anytime anyone can give us a chop out is bloody awesome. And Boof saved the day plenty of times. Thank you also to Nant, my beautiful other half, who has also helped heaps with getting some articles and giving me a nudge and telling me some funny links and stuff. It's been fun. To everyone who's tuning the show, we've had moments where we've thought, are we actually making a difference? Is there any point in doing this? We look at the numbers each week and go, oh geez, I don't know, it's getting there, but some weeks it's not. But we bloody love doing it, and we think that we've got a little bit better each week, and we really genuinely do love it. We're looking to go bigger and better next year. We are absolutely going to be back. We'll be back in the first week of Jan next year in 2021, and we're going to sort of try and just get a bit more content out there. We know we've sort of been a bit slack on the stuff in between shows. We're good on the show and then you hear nothing from us all week, so we're going to try and look at ways to sort of keep the engagement up during the week and get people out there. So thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for all the feedback and helping us make this show better, because that's what we ultimately want it to do, and the feedback, we've taken it all on board and hopefully we've actioned it. So that's it from us for 2020 I should say, get my bloody words right. Donnie, you've been an absolute superstar, and I've loved every single second that we always do this, and not just the bit on air, but of course the mad dash before each episode when we stuff things up, and we always have a chat afterwards and go, oh God, what have we done, and what haven't we done? So the one thing you can do to help us, of course, is just spread it out to your friends, tell them to get on board, and tell them to like the page. And from us, we are going to be tuning out. We've got this new closing segment now. This is pretty exciting, Donnie. It's going to count us down to the end. So let me just get this running.
Very Merry Christmas, JT. Very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Oh, there's more, Donnie. There we go. See you guys. Have a wonderful 2020.
Giddy up.
There we go, Donnie. You've timed it well, mate. That was brilliant. Good work.
JT, you stuffed me with the extended version. I didn't know about that bit.
You got to keep trying things. So, look, thanks everyone again for tuning in. You guys are the ones that really make it real because we love the interaction. That's the favourite part for us.
It's the best
just
bit, mate. It is
seeing the comments and laughing and adding to the show. It is it's heaps more fun than just doing a podcast where you get donuts back. We love the interaction. So to all the people that are listening on Facebook and YouTube now as well, it is awesome, and we'll be continuing with the Facebook Lives next year for sure. It's been the best part.
And Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you've still got power after I turn all my lights on, and you've got it because JT hasn't turned his on yet. But right. Seriously, have a very Merry Christmas and safe New Year. We need you to have a safe New Year so you can be back here to listen to us next year. And of course, it's something that we hope that you'll do what we're going to do, which is spend time with our family and kick back, take some time and put your foot up.
That's exactly right. And big thanks also to Daniel Adamek from tomm.com.au for jumping on board and helping out this year. And he's been happy to give away prizes and lots of prizes every week for us. So thank you, Daniel. I know you're still listening, mate. So we really appreciate your support. And I know it's a lot of work when you're starting your own business. And tomm.com.au started as an idea not that long ago, and it's amazing to see what you've done in such a short period of time. So well done. Thank you for your support. Of course, Donnie, I reckon, mate, we've just got to wrap things up.
Mate, that's a wrap.
See you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year. See you in 2021.